Closed as well. It's just peachy. Why do you keep working so late anyway? Because what I'm doing is important. Doing cancer research, right? And who told you that? Damien, I stopped by your lab some time ago, but you weren't there. That shard-barned bastard! What else did he tell you about me? Nothing much. The whole thing wasn't really about you anyway. I see. Sounds like you two don't get along that well. That's the understatement of the century. Being trapped in a small room with the likes of him for hours on end every day is a scenario born of a sick mind with the intention of making me suffer as much as possible. Certainly doesn't make my research any easier. Yeah, Damien didn't really seem like a good person either. Let's be honest. Stress probably doesn't help you either. It's not worth jeopardizing your health over. Don't overwork yourself. You can't save anyone if you're dead. If I don't find a cure, no one else will. No one else can. No one... You know... Cancer is just kind of a strange thing because it's like your body can your body is built for fighting intruders, not really built for fighting itself. And cancer cells are just like they're doing their job. It's just they're doing their job poorly, and your body doesn't know how to handle that. And that's kind of why cancer treatment is like not an easy task. Besides, I was only late today because I got your stupid blood work ready. Oh shit. So part of saving Anna was giving her my blood. Okay. Wow. You have the test results? Yeah, I want to know what I have to say about them? Definitely. Okay, how much do you know about genetics? A little bit, I guess. Don't worry, I'll put it into words that are easy for you to understand. Start up, down on average, about 90% of your genes are homologous to our species genes. Considering in human DNA and dinosaur like human DNA was injected to dinosaurs to make you guys, yeah. Imagine there's a lot of similarities to human DNA. That may seem like a lot. To put it in perspective, about 50% of your DNA is also shared with fruits. To further elaborate, you and your human neighbor back home are probably around 99% genetically similar. If you compared the various sentient species we have to each other, they would only be around 95 to 97% similar. As for what exactly all of this tells us, although a match of 90% sounds like a lot, it's not as much as you might think. Still, for two beings from a different world altogether, that's quite remarkable. Beyond DNA, the biggest similarity between us is within the brain structure, but that's not surprising considering our high level cognitive abilities. That'll surprise Maverick. What do you mean? He doesn't seem to like humans very much. I'm sure he'll be displeased to know how similar we are. Oh, he doesn't like anyone really. He's just like me in that way. Yeah, you two would make a great couple. You're a little late for that. I'm already his ex-girlfriend. Really? How'd that go? Well, she's an ex. Says now, isn't she? Not how you might think. It actually went pretty well. For a while at least. In the end, we both got too absorbed in our jobs and we realized we had drifted apart too much and it would be better if we just broke up. I still respect him for the work he does. I mean, we even used to solve crime together. I'd be in the lab running tests, he'd be out in the field chasing after the perps. Those were good times. I guess nowadays he just chases after me. What? I don't know, maybe I shouldn't say that, but if you know him, maybe you can help me out. Certainly can't help you if you don't tell me what's going on. Okay, but this is just between us, alright? Sure, whatever. Maverick's convinced that I'm the accomplice of a crime. Made a point to tell me that he's searching for proof to legally arrest me, or worse. Oh, I wouldn't worry about that. Really? It's nothing. You can't find any proof that doesn't exist. Still, it doesn't feel nice to be threatened and stalked, especially by someone like him. That's just him. He gets way into it once he sets his sights on something. I noticed. It's his job. What do you expect? Wish he'd just leave me alone. He wasn't always like this, you know? A couple of years ago, he was assigned to this one case. Still relatively new on the force, young and eager to help, and reality came crashing down on him. There's a serial killer who shook up the whole town. Victims were apparently eaten. Later found out the killer's actions were a result of a degenerative disease, which brought his feral nature to the foreground. At that point, he was just a wild animal, turned into a cannibal that hunted under the shadow of night. Everyone in town was up in arms, terrified that they'd be next. Police did everything they could. Curfew was instated, patrols guarded the streets at night, and they found him munching on his 5th victim. Poor little Maverick was not prepared for what he would find. Stand back, Maverick. I'll handle this. Miles. It was his brother. Oh wow. His second encounter with a serial killer, and the first one ate his brother in front of him. Step away from the body, Miles. Oh no! Miles is the killer, okay. Miles couldn't comprehend their words and only saw rivals who wanted to take away his prey. He wasn't about to just let go of it without a fight. Miles raised his head from his kill, blood dripping from his maw. The officer's breaths were smothered by the deathly stillness of the night. Fangs bared, the feral dragon snarled and stood strong in front of his meal, prepared to protect it from the two intrude upon his territory. Whatever this is, Miles, it's over. Don't make it worse now. That explains the next scar on Bryce. In an instant, Miles was upon Bryce. They clashed in a flurry of teeth and claws. Miles had the advantage with his small frame and quick movements, and Bryce could not get a clear hit in. All happened so fast that Maverick didn't know what to do. Rolled on the ground, Bryce ended up on his back, as helpless as a turtle. Miles pinned him and clamped his jaws on his neck. Bryce's claws were the only thing preventing Miles from biting down. They were slipping, slick with blood and quivering with fatigue as he tried to push him off. For a brief moment, Bryce thought he'd meet his end. The jaws suddenly relaxed and he was able to dislodge them. Looked up, he saw that Maverick had managed to get to Miles from behind, bit through his brother's neck from above. Blood flowed down Maverick's jaws and over Miles' lifeless body. Bryce had been saved, but the young dragon wore a wide-eyed, empty stare. Maverick blamed himself for not taking better care of his brother. He knew Miles had problems and was taking medication for it, but he wished he could have done more to help him. The medication wasn't the right one, by the way. Maverick takes solace in the fact that he was able to save Bryce, but he's never been the same since then. Now he scrutinizes everyone and everything. Not sure how that's supposed to help me. It doesn't, but now you know why he is how he is. It's not unusual for him to act like this, so you might have to just wait it out. Anyway, let's get back to your test results. Since you were so interested, did you want a copy of them? Yeah, I'd appreciate that. No problem. Heard you also wanted Riza's blood. Of course, I invited him over too, but that was before you arrived here. I thought what we had was special. Oh, it is. Riza was too stuck up to agree to anything. He wouldn't even participate in an exhilarating round of trivia board games? Not even that, can you believe it? I can almost see the sarcasm dripping from your mouth. Still, it's kind of a shame. It would have been interesting to compare your blood to his. What a shame indeed. Just enjoy our romantic date in the back alley of a coffee shop. Of course. Unless you want to take this someplace else. Wait, you don't like hanging around dirty back alleys? I'll leave you someplace inside. Hey, I bet you've never had a date in an alley before. I haven't. Not sure I ever wanted to. Where's your sense of adventure? Oh, hang on. There it is. Yes, I can feel the adventure kicking in. Getting kinda hungry. Figured we'd be having a meal on our date. What, you can't go a few hours without having this stuff your face? I offer you a handful of dirt, if that's to your case, Cad. I already have my own dirt. Oh really? What kind of dirt would that be? Like the finest governmentally funded dirt from Tattoo Park? Oh hey, I kept that from the previous playthrough. Filthy back alley stuff has nothing on this. You win this round. Either way, a side dish would be nice. I know this one place that never closes. Let's go there. Sure. After several minutes of walking, Anna led me to the outskirts of town. We arrived at a farmhouse. On one side, fields stretched to the horizon. On the other were lush green hills with fenced populations of animals. What kind of restaurant is this supposed to be? Self Serve? Seriously, doubt that. Just think about it this way. It's the worst that could happen. You get caught and maybe they'll tell me to compensate them. Or we'll just say it was your idea and you didn't know it was forbidden or something. You have diplomatic communities and there's nothing they could do. What can you hunt? Me? Even if I knew how, it's not like I have any equipment here. Equipment? What a sissy! I don't have any natural weapons like you do. Got hands and teeth? What more do you need? A long-range weapon, maybe? Like fire? I suppose even you can make use of that. Alright, since I'm apparently the only one capable of acquiring food, I'll be right back. Anna walked over to a fenced enclosure of animals that reminded me of sheep. She crouched and squeezed herself through the bars, after which I lost sight of her. Waiting game 2.0 start. Only took a couple minutes for her to return, dragging one of the animals behind her with her now bloodied jaws and hands. Dinner's ready. What kind of animal is this? It's called a mufflon. Anyway, do you have a part you prefer? See how nice I am? I'm letting you choose first. What's an offal? Good choice. Well, recall she skinned dead mufflon divided in various pieces. Want yours grilled or raw? Grilled. Prepared properly, raw meat carries significant risk of diseases for us. How inept can your species even be? You can't even hunt on your own? You need tools and help at every step. You don't even have claws to cut things up. Not sure how you could ever survive in the wild. Seriously, what god did you piss off to end up like that? I have no idea. It's kind of sad when you look at it from that perspective. So many different species have so many amazing natural abilities, it seems like we got the bad end of the deal. We always held on the fact that we had our brains and intellect, but now that we found you, it doesn't really make us unique anymore. Mother Nature has been so cruel to your race, I almost feel sorry for you. She opened her mouth wide before a liquid shot from both corners of her mouth and onto the ground below the parts of mouflon she had prepared. In a few seconds, the liquid burst into flame, heating up our dinner. That's a neat trick. Bet you wish you could do that, huh? That'd be wicked cool. Right, it comes in handy. How does that work anyway? Don't you ever burn your mouth? Not at all, they're actually two different components. They only catch on fire when a sufficient quantity of both is present. Interesting. Well, there was something in the background for a moment, but that didn't last very long. Flames weakened and grew smaller until they went out, revealing steamy, appetizing pieces of meat. Help yourself! I grabbed the piece, but dropped it as soon as I felt the heat on my fingertips. Ouch, it's still hot. Can't take a little heat, huh? That's too bad. Taken by its temperature, she took a piece of her hand, tore a chunk out of it, and with her teeth started chewing. Guess your scales are a good insulator. Evidently so. How does it taste? Just wonderful. Stolen goods always taste best. I can already picture the old farmer reduce to tears after he discovers one of his precious mouflons is gone. You're a wild one, eh? Thanks, I can teach you a thing or two. Should be cool enough for your sensitive little fingers now. Got a piece now and they cooled down enough not to burn me anymore and took a bite. A little bland, I had to admit, but not bad for something that was alive less than an hour ago and prepared in the wild. How do you like your mouflon a la Anna? Not bad. Especially at that price. How often do you just go out and hunt on your own? Only when necessary or when I feel like it. I still go to fancy restaurants because I can afford it, but they don't mean much to me. For me, it's all about the experience. One isn't necessarily better than the other. See your point. Certainly isn't how I thought the evening would go, but it was pretty fun. Anyways, I'm stuffed. Me too. Still plenty of left over. What are we gonna do with it all? Just leave it here. Hey, maybe the old farmer will help himself to it. Does this attract predators or something? So what? They need to eat too. Should probably leave before that senile husband wakes up from his evening nap. Yeah, let's go. Hello? Oh, well, that was interesting. Wait a minute, I've got something for you. Here you go, your test results, black on white. Thanks, but did you really spend all that extra time getting this done today? I just wanted to get it over with when I had the chance. Maybe you should start thinking about not working so late on a regular basis. Might do you some good, Anna. Why do you think so? Just saying, if it usually gets as bad as it did today, it's not a good sign. I just didn't pay attention to time, but I guess that's because I barely go out anyway and didn't think about watching the clock. Okay, point taken. So, what are you going to do? I'll think about it. You know, now this thing's officially over, if I don't work overtime every single day, I could fit you in for your end of the deal. Of course you didn't forget about that. I'll let you know the details, or just call me if I forget. Sure. Spend the day reading, since apparently there's stuff for that. Time to finish. This looks like stuff I've already seen. Alright. Chief Cat is here. Deals. Of course. Really bad news. What was it? No, Anna, right? Met with her, yes. How about her assistant? Met him once or twice. Well, that's him. Oh. Interesting. So you save Anna at the price of the snake guy. Are you okay? Is there anything I could do? Let's just get this over with. Skip to scene selection. Yep. Alright, so go to police archives. And I guess this time I need to ignore Katsuhara. She's kind of busy right now. Don't worry about it. There'll be someone else along soon, I'm sure. These archivists, the dragoness who introduced herself as Kalinth. You're in the cat? And Bryce compiled all the case files a while ago. Ever since you came to our world, he seemed to be a lot more interested in these human mysteries. I wonder if it has something to do with you. Anyway, you can find all the files here, like the rest of you. Rummage through the trash! What the fuck? Study the blueprint. Blueprint of the building caught my attention. Apparently, it had been found during their cursory investigation within the building itself. First glance, nothing about it stood out to me, but the more I studied it, the more facts revealed themselves. Both of its entrances were freed and accessible by the people in charge. One was through a tunnel in the vicinity of the portal, and the other was through a dig that cut through the town sewer system. Bryce had scrawled a note near the second entry. It simply said, access via hatch. Button, counterclockwise. Furthermore, the data in the core blueprint lists the structure as an independent living and research unit dated to the year 2047. Wait, so the bandage we found is the entrance to the lab. Most interestingly, I recognize the name of the company that was listed. They're a well-established super company before our world's collapse, known for their advances in scientific fields and otherwise through the use of legal loopholes and gray markets. They were very successful at what they did. Their facilities subverted laws and ethical issues by being in areas where such concerns were non-existent, or could be made non-existent by paying off the right individuals. Naturally, the products and applications of their research was usually fair game to be used and sold worldwide. They were only one of the companies involved in championing the teleportation technology that was about to take off on a grand scale before the solar flare changed everything. Of course, there were public worries regarding the untested long-term consequences of utilizing black holes in such technology. It was outlawed in certain countries due to these concerns, but lobbies in the private sector drove many of them to accept the tech in light of the boundless advantages offered. They were also big in medical, security, and weaponry fields. Their vast knowledge and close cooperation of their individual departments enabled them to make many breakthroughs. Seems like they could do anything they set out to do. The nanomachines that became commonplace before the fall were, of course, also their... Goddamn, I turned my mic off mid-sentence. Were, of course, also their product. Alright. No one was surprised that tech failed under the radiation of the ion storm. Had the company behind it been more concerned about safety rather than profits, perhaps fewer lives would have been lost. Even though they weren't perfect, nanomachines had still increased the quality of life for many people. There's a new way of treating medical conditions, some of which have been previously untreatable. They are also widely used for their performance-enhancing properties, for both day-to-day activities and to assist with dangerous jobs. Beyond that, the company had even branched into genetic engineering. Human hereditary diseases were becoming a thing of the past. They developed techniques to alter human life to its core. Ultimately, they had a hand in influencing every area of life on a global scale. It was unknown who has truly calling the shots. I think it's supposed to be who was truly calling the shots. So their network of companies and names was vast. It was only one of their many ways to ensure their continued existence and avoid liability. Where they had been outlawed, Although their operations shut down, new companies with suspiciously similar products appeared practically overnight. However, no matter how big their empire was and how well they skirted the lines, they ultimately collapsed just like the rest of the world. That being said, how did this building make its way into the dragon's world? As I pondered this, Adine's request came to mind. I used Bryce's machine to make a copy of the map for her. Bryce probably wouldn't approve me giving evidence to civilians, but I was sure he would never even realize it. Read the structural damage report of the underground building near the portal. According to the report, the investigation of the building was halted due to the acute danger of its collapse and the damage that the surrounding water could cause. Since the building had unknown historical and technological value, there was a plan in place to drain the water pockets. The legal permissions had not yet gone through, however, and it takes some time for the equipment to arrive. For now, the building was stable as long as it remained undisturbed, but for obvious reasons, no one was allowed to enter. There were patrols guarding it day and night. Oh, look at the time, better wrap it up here. Don't go to the portal. Yep. Gunshots. Stay inside and call the police. Only a trusted mysterious message. Remy's list of phone numbers given to me when he brought me to his apartment in the first place proved to be a valuable tool. Dialed the emergency line was greeted by a calm voice asking me about my emergency. The situation was understood, and I was advised to stay inside until further notice. He was dispatched to deal with the situation while I waited. From my window, I tried to catch a glimpse of what was going on at the portal, but I couldn't see much. The night was fast approaching. About an hour later, I was informed the team had searched the perimeter, but no trace of Rizzo was found. I was given the go-ahead and continued with my investigation, but I was free to stay where I was if I felt unsafe. Oh. Interesting, so not going to the portal means we get the option to visit a second place. Right, the store is the one that had the extra witness. Who's he talking to? It's her again. Mixed up the prescriptions again. I can't help you. I can't refill this one. Just about to close, so you have to bring the right one tomorrow. Okay. I am, yeah, everyone knows. Bart, what are you still doing here? I already told you I have to come back tomorrow. Here, I have a lolly on the house. She doesn't want it. Let's deal with her. She comes here occasionally to pick up her mother's prescriptions. Not sure what's up with her lately, but this isn't the first time this happened. Time the doctor forgets to issue a new prescription, another time she brings me an expired one instead of a new one. She isn't exactly Bryce, but this is unusual even for her. So what do you want to know? Oh, bar. Actually, excuse me, sorry, but we'll have to do this another time. You say so. Luckily, she hadn't gone too far, so I followed her from a distance. Minutes passed, we walked through the streets, weaving through an unfamiliar part of town. The dragon looked small and lonely on the empty road. Before long, we passed the village border, yet she pressed on, stopped in the forest. Back against the village far horizon, and the instant the dragon was gone. Our spotted near last found the entrance to a cave on the hillside.